There was a hate crime incident at Stonebridge High School in Virginia, and I want to talk about this because this type of behavior is taught, and it's sort of breeding each other right now in America. So let me read this real quick from The Advocate, and then we can talk about it. And before I start, be a doll, hit the like button. It says, Virginia School Board settles lawsuit with students accused of harassing a trans classmate. Stonebridge High School had found two Loudoun County boys responsible for harassment and discrimination last March. A Virginia school board settled against a legal dispute last week with two students who sued after they were suspended for their treatment of a trans classmate. In March 2025, the Loudoun County School Board suspended three boys for filming a trans student using the male locker room at Stonebridge High School and asking probing questions, aka they were bullying. The school board opened a Title IX investigation into the boys and found two were responsible for sexual harassment and sex-based discrimination. The two boys then sued the school board, arguing it discriminated against them for their Christian faith. The case quickly drew attention from conservative groups and raised $130,000 in an online fundraiser to cover these boys' legal fees. In late 2025, the Justice Department asked the federal judge overseeing the case to join the plaintiffs, but its request was denied. Judge Leonie Brinkema, who presides over the U.S. District Court for Eastern District of Virginia, said at a hearing last Friday that the school board and the boys' legal team had settled on the case. The terms of the settlement have not been made public. So, this behavior from these boys is so typical of Christian cultists in America. And the message given to boys like this from their parents is that their religion is the one and only true religion and everyone else is wrong. People who don't fit inside their perfect Christian boxes are up for abuse, humiliation, and discrimination. They treated this trans boy as less than human. And then they tried to justify their actions by claiming it was something to do with Christianity. That's weaponizing religion. And therefore, these boys were in the right for violating and humiliating a trans boy in their school. It's the same behavior we are seeing from Republican government. Let's attack the people who are already struggling, already down, already being bullied, and then slap a Christian sticker on it, and the public will forgive you. It's the same justification that Republicans and conservatives are using for genocide in the Middle East and removing women's rights to their own bodies and attacking gay marriage and trans rights. Society is way too forgiving to people who try and destroy other people, and these boys were clearly not victims. They attacked a trans boy out of nowhere, violated him and his privacy, and then claimed they were the victims. And if you've ever been in an abusive relationship, you recognize this behavior. The abusers cry victim when any accountability comes around. And Republicans in government are teaching young people that this behavior is not just acceptable, it's forgivable. And I was just looking at a Fox News article about this situation, and they labeled it as a locker room fight. And that is not what this was. This was inexcusable bullying and humiliation of a person because of their gender identity. And the behavior of these high school boys is extremely dangerous because this behavior is taught and then it carries well into adulthood. Statistically, bullies don't do well later in life. They're more prone to mental health problems, they commit violence at higher rates, and they abuse their own family once they're adults. So oftentimes, school bullies are not naturally inclined to engage in these harmful behaviors. Rather, they learn these behaviors over time and are raised to attempt to gain superiority and control of others whenever they can. According to WebMD, child bullies continue to exhibit these behaviors as they grow up because as adults, they are more likely to use drugs, drop out of school, get into crime and fights than their peers who did not bully others. So we have to address what the real problem is here, which is a mental illness in America of religious supremacy and white nationalism. Young men are being raised and taught to believe that they are supreme to everyone else because they're cisgender, male, and white. Young men today are being misled by our own government and are being encouraged to act on their fears through violence. This is the exact situation that leads to creating mass shooters and murderers. And this bullying and dehumanization is unacceptable. Thank you for listening. Please like this, share this, let's get this information out. Leave your comments, subscribe to stay updated, and I'll be back soon. Bye.